millions of bulbs, but you know what? I just don't feel like it anymore.
Yeah. By the way, when I floated it out there that I was not renewing my interest in serving another term, I don't know if resignation was the right word to use there. I just want to turn it over to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, I told them that you just weren't accepting another term, and I can't remember what the term I
Yeah,
used
yeah.
for it.
Okay, good,
In the
good.
letter I submitted to this Madam President of the Senate. So
Right.
I talked to them, it was either last week or the week before, because I've been trying to follow up with them, and then I had to get a couple other people involved to kind of
Yeah,
make that work.
yeah.
And
I
I'm still
I
waiting to
would
hear back for
I would
appointments.
I
So
would like to, but we're a really small group,
I know.
and we're busy like literally working with trees. We've had a really great success just of
Mhm.
late with the local university of Maine and Fort Kent, the tech
Mhm.
center, and Madawaska High School, and
Mhm.
literally had a busload of kids come out and plant trees that they had containerized for growth through the year in the spring on community property up here, and a lot of neat stuff like that. Had the surveying students out yesterday helping us refresh
Mhm.
boundaries for our easement and town properties, and you know gives opportunity to the students and benefit to the community, and it's like good like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you up in the Presque Isle area?
We're 60 miles north of Presque Isle.
Okay, because my son went to Presque Isle because he's
Yep.
with the USGS. So
Oh, is he?
he did part of his work at the Presque Isle, University of Presque Isle.
Nice, nice.
But he was able to do a lot of it Zoom.
Yep, yeah.
So yeah, so he's out of work. 39 days today. He's been out of work.
That's sad.
Uh,
Just like I've worked for a lot of government agencies in my life as a wildlifer,
Yeah.
both in fisheries and wildlife for NOAA, National Marine Fisheries Service,
Yeah. Yeah.
Canadian Wildlife Service, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And currently we're recipients of a grant from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, just for materials, not for
Yeah.
labor.
That's big.
But yeah, it's like I lament the poor people that are starting off. Like I'm 70 now, right? So when I was like in my 20s or whatever, and I was bopping around doing a lot of the work, foreign fishing vessel observers, stuff like that.
Yeah, but he's been with the USGS for 13 years.
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, it's he's extremely bored. He says I can only do so many projects and I'm project out, he said. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, they just want to get back to work. That's all they wanted. That's all he wants to do.
right.
He's in the field a lot. So he really, that's what is good about this because he loves to be out in the field. But
Good. Good.
but yeah, right now he's like stuck in the house.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, there's so many people coming on. Hi guys,
Good.
everybody. Hey Ryan, congratulations on your new
Yeah,
position.
Thank
congrats for
you.
sure.
You gonna miss the county?
Um, I'll miss it to some degree. I won't miss the winter.
No, no. These are all my people. Can you say hi and then go bye?
Bye.
Okay. All right. Then you're off. See ya later.
That's good.
See you later. Jameson, thank you. Hey Jim, congratulations on your retirement in December there. Okay, he's not on.
Jim, can you hear us?
No,
No, he can't hear.
he
Okay.
can't. John,
I can hear you.
you all ready for snow?
I just saw my first flake, but no.
Yeah. No, we did too. And I'm in China, Maine at my daughter's house and it snowed on her deck and it's like, I am so not ready for that.
I'm in Waterville, so I'm not far from you.
Yeah, no, you're not.
Welcome to the party, Tanya.
I mean, it's, you know, municipal league people, so the party is nonstop.
I think Jim couldn't hear us, so I think he's logging in again.
Bob, you said Paw Patrol. Oh.
Heather, did you get the testimony that I sent in for David?
You know, my email is acting erratic right now, and I don't know if it's because I'm downstairs, so I don't, because I just have a little cubicle and I don't want everyone to make noise. Did you send it at noon, Roberta? Is that when you sent it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, I see
That's
something that
another
just
good
is
reason.
coming through as I do a refreshment. Do you want me to send it out to everybody now, or you want me to send it out to everybody after the meeting?
If you want to send it out now, that'd be fine.
Well, is that the one from David Manter you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
I
you see, you
sent
sent
all
it to, you already
Yeah.
sent it to everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I printed mine out. I read it and all that.
okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
we got it electronically.
Jim, can you hear us now?
Doesn't look good.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. Can you hear us? No, I
Yay.
guess not, but we can hear him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm very slow myself, but I gave myself a lot of time, so it only took me about 40 minutes or something like that to get set up personally.
Uh-oh, what happened?
I think Jim is sharing his screen with us as he tries to figure out what's going on,
Oh, okay, all right.
because that's not me, and I don't see anybody else doing that, so.
That's frustrating.
It is.
Yeah, there's Jim. Maybe.
So, okay, so maybe what he wants to do is call in.
He shows up as a separate tab, right? Up in the top is your screen. You can tab back and forth.
Yeah, he's not muted, and I'm trying to see. It's very weird. I don't know if it's a
What
speaker
do you
thing.
think? Is he getting text?
Huh.
Do you know?
He's getting my, he's getting the text from me in the chat.
Well, why don't you suggest he calls in? And
That's what I just said.
I'm
That's
going
what
to
I
try
just said.
to leave
Yeah.
and rejoin. This is driving me
There it is.
crazy. I've gone through all of my
There it is.
sound card options, and
We can hear you now,
it's not
Jim.
happening.
We can hear you, Jim.
But he can't hear us is the
Yeah.
problem.
That's the problem.
So, hold on. I'm gonna call him.
Look, it's Tommy Doak.
Grandmother, how are you?
Yeah, I know. How did that happen anyways? You know, it's not like,
Well, I can explain it to you, but it's offline. Yeah.
no, okay, no. I did. I set myself up for
Still
that
nothing
one.
on this side. I'm going to join by telephone.
know
Okay.
better.
We'll just
I was just
run it
about
that
to
way.
call
I'm
him.
sorry.
That's okay.
Since we can hear Jim, he's probably going to have to mute his computer.
Yeah.
Because when he calls in, it's going to echo.
I'm gonna just try calling him and seeing if I can't.
Okay.
Catherine, I have 6 grandkids.
Wow. Yeah, I've got 3.
Oh, I mean,
I'm at their
I'm sorry,
house right
and
now.
I miscounted. I have 4. No.
Oh, geez.
Seems like 6.
I
Yeah,
have 4 too.
yeah, I've got 3, and it seems like 16. They're like crazy boys. So
3
I
girls.
bet you mine are smarter and better looking though. my,
I'm
my
sure
grandchildren.
we all think that, Steve. So
Yeah, yeah.
7. Oh, he's calling in.
Yep.
I'm gonna wait till he comes on the phone. It's very odd because usually it's you hear one or the other, but we can hear him, but we can't.
There you go, Catherine. There's the snow.
where? Oh, you're in Waterville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, no way.
I'm gonna just-
Yeah, okay. I'm in China, and the sun is shining over here, so I'm good. I don't even want to go home because I live in the Farmington. It feels like that weather pattern with Farmington. So I heard they were getting snow. I don't even want to go home and see. I don't even. Not ready for this.
Mhm.
My snowmobile is, but I'm not.
The first snows are always the real slippery ones too.
Yeah, yeah, and nobody slows
Try
down
the
because
man. 7.
it's the first snow. So
Who wants to run the meeting?
Hi, can I connect you to Jim Katsiafikis? He's trying to connect to our Zoom call, but he's not able to, and I just want to kind of walk him through it if I can. Thanks.
Let's do that. Let's do that. Sorry. Thank you. This is so bizarre. Yep. Got it.
Okay. Okay, try it now, Jim. See if they can hear you.
Okay, I muted myself.
Can you all hear him? Yes,
Thank
okay.
you. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. I'm sorry, I have no idea what was happening, but I could not hear you. All right, let's call to order. This is the Abandoned and Discontinued Roads Commission meeting on November 6th, 2025. Roll call, please. Heather.
Peter? I see you raised your hand.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Tom?
Here.
Tanya?
Yes, I'm here.
And I don't see Matthew. He's our new Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry. So I'm just gonna, Jim, you're here. Chris is out. Roberta.
Here.
Vivian is out. John.
Here.
Kathy.
yeah,
Ryan.
Here.
Steve.
Here.
Yay.
All right, we have 8 out of 12.
yeah.
From to me.
Yep.
And I'm out of 12. Catherine, I'm sorry.
9 out of 12. Yep.
Tanya, welcome. Well, we'll have a new member on board. And for this afternoon, let's go first with the adoption of the April 10, 2025 minutes. I assume everyone's had a chance to take a look at those. If we can all remember back to what we said back on April 10 of 2025. Any changes?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Who's the second on that motion?
Kathy.
And all in favor, roll call vote?
Peter,
Yes, yes, yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Tanya.
I was not present for the meeting. I'm happy to support the minutes if the vote is needed, but I was not present, so
Okay.
it's up to the commission.
That's fine. Jim, Roberta,
Yes.
Vivian's out. John,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Ryan,
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you, guys.
I'm going to move things, suggest we move things out of order a little bit. One of them being, well, we have so many folks on, it's great to vote. We need to elect a public access officer because as a result of the actions of the legislature last session, the commission now is subject to the Freedom of Access Act requirements for training and for having a public access officer. For the first time, we're subject to that. My suggestion would be that we have our assistant Heather be the public access officer, since she's the one who would wind up receiving any freedom of access requests and have to work with us to facilitate those. Does that make sense?
Yes.
As we said, acceptable to you.
Yeah. I mean, I have to keep track of the records. I'm like the record keeper anyway. So.
Right. So in most organizations, the clerk winds up being, the person in charge of the records winds up being the access officer. So I would move to that Heather be our public access officer. Is there a second?
Second. Third. Fourth. All of us.
Okay. Roll call vote.
Peter,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
Tanya,
Yes.
Matthew's out. Jim.
Yes.
Chris is out. Roberta.
Yes.
Vivian's out. John.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Ryan.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
So that's 9. So that carries.
Other than this vote and the vote on the minutes, I don't think there's anything else that requires a formal vote of this commission this afternoon. Some policy decisions and things, but I don't know that we have to have any formal votes. The reason I ask is there's been a request to move public comment part up on the agenda. And how does the feel? Roberta?
Yes. My husband put in written testimony instead on Heather's suggestion, so he's all set.
Okay. All right. So we don't have to take that in a different order. Okay, good. Updates and announcements. I don't have anything specific. Heather, is there anything that you have to pass along in that regard?
We're waiting for 3 new appointments. 1 from the Speaker of the House, and then obviously 2 from Madam President of the Senate. So it's Steve and Jim with the Senate appointments, and Ryan. I've been in touch with the Senator's Madam President's office, and they're moving things around, but hopefully we have something soon. We've made our what Steve had suggested, what Jim had suggested as people who would be good fits. Ryan, I haven't heard anything from the House. Have you heard anything from the Speaker's office?
No, I haven't. And I think that the way the law works is it has to come, the recommendation has to come from the Maine County Commissioners Association.
Okay.
So I've told them, and I don't know if they've done anything with it or not.
Would you mind following up with them? I'm trying to stay on the Senate a little bit, because my concern is in December everybody's going to be gone, and then January I won't have a quorum even if everybody shows up. Is that okay if you follow up with them, Ryan? Would you be? Thank you. Appreciate that.
So when it seems a few of us are waiting ducks pulling over the end of our term, but we can still act until our successors are appointed, and we hope that's on a timely basis so that there can be continuity going. In that regard, on continuity, the big things that we've done as a commission is work on the legislation that was passed during the last session. And as we know, it was passed, but it hasn't been signed into law by the governor and the governor an extended period of time because the legislature went out of session. To sign that, it's sitting on the desk, and it's also the appropriations issue. We'll find out in January, I guess, whether the governor wants that bill to go forward. And I know that there was some feeling that this kind of got rushed through at the end and perhaps didn't get reviewed as perhaps finally as it might have if it happened in the ordinary course of events. But that's kind of what happened in the last 2 days. Has anyone heard any other concerns about this that we should talk about?
I mean, I've only heard from Roberta, why don't you go ahead first?
I thought I had heard that it had passed appropriations, but maybe I was wrong on that. It would be nice to know, because if it hasn't, if it's being held up on appropriations, we should have somebody ready to jump in and say, you know, can we pass the rest of it if we take the fiscal note off of it? Because I think it's worth getting the rest of the bill through. Much as I would love to have everybody get compensated for their expenses, but if that's going to kill the whole bill, I think we need to look at trying to save the rest of it.
Well, my understanding is the governor has the bill and is ready to sign it. That's according to our legislative analysis here at the OAG's office, because I asked her to reach out, mostly because Jim is retiring and I don't think that he wants to come back and give more testimony in January or February, right, Jim? So I reached out and I said, because otherwise, you know, if the governor is having an issue, I would like to, you know, maybe have like a sit down with Jim if she has questions, whatever. And so the feedback I got was no, she has no issues. She's going to sign it in January. Whether that stays the same or not, I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing from Dana Hayes. Sorry, Jim.
Other thoughts about that, or anything else anyone's heard or concerned? It was a good piece of work from this commission, to arrive at a consensus, to work with the legislature and to try to resolve their issues. It would be nice if we get that signed and at least have that to show for the first 3 years of work. So we'll keep our fingers crossed and our ear to the ground and hope that the governor signs that at the beginning of the year. As far as commissioners' reappointment, Heather summed it up. Those of us whose terms have expired, we've got requests in front of the Senate President and House Chair to try to get our successors nominated and approved. I guess there are two things that need to come up soon, and that is that we'll have to have a new chair going forward once we get the appointment squared away, and we'll also need to talk about what the direction should be. It's been hard with this legislation hanging out there to think about what the next steps are. We're not, until it's signed, it's not done. But we should be thinking too about what are the next steps? Are the things that we've started that we want to follow through on, that are the replacement board commission wants to work on? What are some of the directions that the commission wants to pursue, say, in the next legislative session?
I have several suggestions. The big one, and I know everybody is kind of stumped on this one for what to do about it, but there was a Maine Supreme Court decision back in 1970. You've heard me say this before, most of you, that said that a public road with no public maintenance will inevitably be destroyed. That destroys property access and therefore requires just compensation for the reducing the value of the property. And yet in 1987, we have another decision that says that a public easement is a public road with no public maintenance. And that just doesn't coincide with the precedent that was set in 1970. we've got to do something about this. I'm still getting at least one new complaint a week on average from people that are in this situation of having their access taken, either by somebody else blocking the road or by public use destroying the road, and as fast as they rebuild it, it gets torn apart again. This has got to stop. It can't just keep going on and on and on. I'm currently working on 4 hot cases at once where there are people who are having problems over these roads. And I don't know how much longer I can cope with it if we keep getting more and more of these. So that's the main thing that we need to look at and figure out what can be done about it. We're not asking for everything to be done at once, but it's frustrating that in 3 years, we've barely chipped away at the edges of it. And yes, the improvements that we've made of this bill that's on the governor's desk now goes through, that will help some, but it's not going to be a complete solution. One of the things that we've seen just recently, our amendment to 3105A that we did in the last session, I tried to make it clear that it's not to be used just when there is a fire that somebody can come in with a plow and make a way for the fire truck. It's supposed to allow maintenance to be done so that if there is a fire, then emergency access is possible. One small tweak that could be made to that is to just say, in addition to fire and police protection, what about ambulance protection? We've got a situation on our road now. We've got
the CCP thugs.
We've got 5 people on our road that are senior citizens with major health issues. 2 of them have been hauled off by ambulance in the past. And if we are unable to keep that road passable all the time, what if one of them needs an ambulance again? And this went before a vote of our town just a couple of days ago. The statute says that it's supposed to go to a vote of the people, and it's supposed to be at a town meeting, and instead they put it up for a referendum vote, which is not the way it's supposed to be. It didn't allow all the voters to hear the discussion on it. The wording of the referendum question was misleading, and not surprisingly, it got voted down because people thought that we were asking them to put public funds into maintaining a private road, and it's not a private road; it's a public road. So that needs to be worked on some more. Hopefully, as I said, the bill that's on the governor's desk will help. But if it's not mandatory, towns are just going to simply vote against it. In our case, even if the people had said yes on that referendum vote and had said, yes, this is something we want to do, the way it was worded, it still gives the selectmen the final say in whether they want to do it or not. And all the selectmen said that they didn't think we should be doing it. So what good is it to have the people vote to put maintenance into one of these roads if the selectmen can then say, no, we're not going to do it? So that's one big issue. There are various small tweaks that I think could be made. There are some issues with the abandonment statute. It does provide some due process now, which is a big improvement over what it used to be with no due process. But the time period for asking for a hearing is too short, requires too many people to pitch in on it, doesn't give people enough time to do their research and find out what the actual status of the road should be. And then it says that the municipal officers have discretion to decide whether it's going to remain a public easement or whether they're going to extinguish the public easement.
Yo, Roberta, you're looking thick.
Okay, so I reported them. Roberta, you're muted. Hold on, you got to unmute yourself. I think, hold on, I'm going to
okay, I got it.
Remove.
It's the abandonment statute as it stands now gives the municipal officers the ability to choose whether they're going to keep a public easement or not. It allows them to give up the public easement, and it doesn't say that they can only give up the public easement if that won't leave anybody landlocked. So that's a small tweak that could be made pretty easily. That would be an improvement. I have a list of things that I can send to people later. I don't want to take up all the time of the meeting going over these, but those are some of the issues that we've come up with that there are small improvements that could be made. One law that went through this past session that I'm kind of upset about. We had weighed in that it doesn't involve discontinued roads, so it wasn't within our purview, but I think it actually does, sort of indirectly, and that's Title 23, Sections 3651 and 3652, which is often called the pothole law. It's the one that says that towns are responsible for keeping their public ways safe and convenient for travelers with motor vehicles. And it used to say that if they failed to address a dangerous situation on the road, that there's an appeals process that went to the county commissioners, and the county commissioners could then order the town to repair the road, or they could order repairs and bill it to the town. That just got removed from it. It now says that it goes before the town's appeals board if the town's appeals board has been authorized to hear such matters. What if they haven't? If they haven't been authorized to do that, there is no appeal. And this is a very useful statute for people on roads that have not yet been declared abandoned or discontinued, but where it's pretty obvious the town is trying to abandon it. They haven't done maintenance on it for years, and they're just kind of holding out and hoping nobody will notice until they reach the 30-year mark. And I know situations where people have repeatedly complained to their town about the condition of a road, and nothing has been done. And if they had known about 3651 and 3652, maybe they could have gotten the commissioners involved soon enough to stop the road from being abandoned. But now, even if they know about it, you know, if they have to appeal, who do they appeal to if the town's appeals board hasn't been authorized to do that? Similar situation we saw where
I need to break in 1 second. I just need to step away, Jim, for so I'm gonna go dark on the screen, but I'll come back, but I gotta step away for a bit. So
We'll look forward to your thoughts on that.
we've already seen one situation where somebody was told that the appeals process was to go to the town's board of appeals. So they did within the time limit. This was on a question of abandonment. They appealed to the town's board of appeals, and after the time period had run out, they were told, oh, our appeals board isn't authorized to hear that matter. You should have appealed it to the county commissioners. So he appealed it to the county commissioners, who then said it's past the time limit for appeal. There should be a way of preserving the time for appeal if somebody has appealed to the town's board because they were told to do so, and then it turns out the appeals board was not authorized to hear it. The fact that they filed within the required 10 days should preserve their right to appeal to the county commissioners. So that's another small tweak that could be made.
Okay, and then on that last one, I'm sure boards of appeals everywhere are really excited about the idea of looking at roads, condition of roads and appeals from those. Yeah, basically, in order for a board of appeals to have jurisdiction to hear those appeals under the new state law that we passed, the town has adopted an ordinance, and in many cases, well, most cases, that hasn't happened yet. So we, and yet the county commissioners have been taken out of the process effective in September this year with the repeal of the existing law. It's a glitch, and that's something the legislature is going to be looking at. It's tangentially, as you say, related to what we do at the Abandoned and Discontinued Roads Commission. Are there folks with ideas too about where this commission could be, issues this commission should be tackling next?
Oh, one of the other thoughts that I had is that the discontinuance statute got so complicated by putting in the bit about allowing landowners to grant each other a private easement. That complicated it so much that now we're seeing towns just not even bother to discontinue a road. They just sort of don't do anything to it, and it sits there in limbo. And I was wondering if it would be a good idea to split that into two separate statutes. One that is for the discontinuance of a town way, and when the way is discontinued, it becomes a public easement, but then have a separate statute that's for discontinuance of a public easement, so that can be less complicated at the time of discontinuance, allow the discontinuance to go through, and then sort out whether it's going to remain a public easement or not. And that would also say that if there is a road that was discontinued years ago with a public easement remaining, then there is still the option for the landowners to get together and say, hey, can we make this a private road and not have it be public anymore? And the one other real problem with that one is that as it stands now, even if the abutters have gone to all the work of getting an agreement between all the abutters and drawing up deeds ready to be filed, saying that they grant each other a shared private easement, maybe working out how there's going to be a road association or whatever. After they've done all that work, the town gets to vote on whether or not to keep the public easement. And they can just say, yep, we're keeping it. And there's really not any motivation for them to give it up, because if they keep it, they get to use it for nothing. And the abutters end up maintaining the road for the public. If nothing else, we think that if the town refuses to give up that public easement, that the town should then be required to be a member of whatever road association there is, or should somehow be obligated to put enough maintenance into the road to support whatever public use they think it's still to be used for. So that's another one of the ideas that I'd had.
Clearly, some thoughts as to different directions go: the abandonment statute, the discontinuance statute, and also the concept of public easements and how much you pay and when and what it's for. It might be helpful, because we're not going to discuss, we're not going to agree on next steps in this meeting, but the idea is, let's get some of the ideas out on the table. Maybe the next meeting would be considering some of those proposals. So if you'd like to put those in writing as separate proposals, then it's something that the commission can look at next meeting and then start thinking and choosing, which initiatives does the commission want to try to work on over the next session.
I can do that.
Other commissioners with thoughts on that, directions for the next commission to go for?
So I have a question. So congratulations, Jim, on your retirement. But in order to get someone else on board, what we're going to need to do is print out what is on the governor's desk right now for the next person in January, and go from there. I mean, I appreciate all what Roberta is saying right now, but in order for us to go forward, we need to know where we're at right now. And that means that bill that's on the desk at the governor's office. I know I have a copy of it somewhere, but I think it would be good if we refresh and get everybody that again and go from there.
Waiting for that to actually be acted on has been a reason why we haven't really made a whole lot of progress this year. But assuming that the governor's office is telling us correctly, or we're hearing correctly that the governor will sign it, then the question is, what are the next steps? What are the next directions? So if folks have ideas as to particular problems, as Roberta has voiced, let's maybe propose those for the next meeting. Maybe you're not ready to talk about them today, but if you have some ideas and things that we've worked on, things we've heard, seen, whether it's problems that you think need to be addressed or specific solutions that need to be considered, please put them together. Brief email that we can include Heather together and send them all out as part of the package for the next meeting. The next meeting, as far as, well, we'll deal with that next. But does anyone have any specific ideas, problems, or solutions with regard to abandoned and discontinued roads that you're ready to talk about today? Fair enough. And if we can move on, the idea is if you do have some specific ideas as you think about it, we're reflecting and getting ready for the next meeting, please get a draft of some ideas to have it show fully and to get them to the commission members for the meeting. When should the next meeting be? Do we want to wait until appointments are made, or do we want to try to make a little more incremental progress, say, in December, although that's It's going to be a busy month for us all, I'm sure.
One thing we need to do is to prepare a report for was it beginning of February? It shouldn't be too complicated because we didn't have as many meetings this year as we did the previous year, but still needs to be done.
Right. We don't have any proposed legislation to offer for February 1st. So it would be basically, we met, we talked about this. We talked about LD 9, whatever that was, and offered our thoughts on that. And it's a wonderful year. Thank you. We can put that together. I think that shouldn't be too heavy a lift. Of course, Jennifer will help with that.
So my thought would be, I think we should at least set a meeting for December because everybody needs to agree on the report. So at least I can start putting it together, Jim, and maybe even getting, I know you don't want to rewrite it, but at least getting your thoughts that it's okay and you know, and then everybody can like meet and look at, I'd like to have it done in December or at least by January, especially with all the turnover, and then we'll have new people. So I just want to make sure. So.
Yep. And I think we've done 3 reports now, and so I think there's something to work from as far as structure. And a lot of it is going to be boilerplate. You know, these are the things we've done, or just be adding what we did last year to it. There weren't that many meetings, and then there weren't that many actions. There were just, you know, the legislation we proposed, and then the one bill that we can ask to comment on. So there's a huge lot of amounts to discuss. There's no proposed legislation for the next session. So yeah, that should be relatively. So if you'd like to start on that, I'll work with you to get a draft together.
Okay.
Talk about it in December, and then have a vote to adopt it in January. And at that point, by that point, in January, the governor should have replacement, and we should be able to facilitate a turnover in board leadership, commission leadership, to get things going. So, how do we want to schedule a December meeting? You want to do that by poll?
Yeah, I can send out the poll if that makes it easier for everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
Our meeting, we'll talk about the draft of the meeting, draft of the report. We'll look at options for where this goes next, different ideas, and get that teed up so that in January you can have a more substantive discussion and a vote on the actual report as in final form. That all sound good?
Yes, sounds good.
And also going forward, I think what I'm going to end up doing, guys, is I'm going to reinstitute the waiting room, and then I'm going to be cross-examining people before I allow them in so that it will no longer be open up to the public. I apologize that we haven't had that issue before, and so I'll be letting you all in next time. So at least I know who you guys are, but.
Sure.
As long as it's not contagious.
Thanks, Ben.
I assume we're allowing you to edit the transcript.
So yeah, I gotta go. My next step is I emailed IT, I emailed Zoom. So because it went live over YouTube. So I don't know. I can go back and I can fix the YouTube, but I want to make sure I'm not, I think no one in the public really needs to see that. So
yeah.
I didn't even need to see that. What are you talking about? I don't know. I'm so upset.
I didn't advertise the meeting this time, so hopefully there weren't a bunch of my roadways people on.
No, I honestly, I saw 3 people come in and I reached out to them and I said, are you going to provide testimony? And then as soon as I sent out those texts, all of a sudden everything started popping up on the screen. And then I'm like,
one of them was Tom Jones, if you know.
Yeah, I knew that. And I was like, just wait, this guy's.
It was all downhill from there.
So that's why I said, I was like, who are you? And what are you doing on here? I should have just booted him. But I'll reinstitute the waiting room so no one can come in without permission. So I'm sorry, you guys will have to wait and then I'll bring you in. So I'll make sure I'm up on that next time. So.
Small price to pay.
All right, anything else for today?
Will the people that are going off the council, will you be here at the next meeting or you'll be gone before then?
When is the next meeting?
Well, we
So
haven't
I'm-
set, but it's
December.
December's.
Yeah, I think,
I would plan to come to be here if needed.
thank you, Steve. We really appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody
problem.
who's staying on a little longer. And, you know, I am working to get you guys replaced, even though we will really miss you guys. So
I didn't
Exactly.
want to quit. I just didn't want to
I
renew.
know.
I didn't know if I used the right language in saying I resigned. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's it.
No, we know. We'll miss you guys. But yeah, so I will let you guys know. And maybe even everybody, even if they do have the replacements in December, maybe everybody just kind of just shows up anyway, so we can just kind of have that turnover. So
Sounds good. So I'll see you in December, and there'll be a poll that comes out. We'll set a date. Thank you for meeting this afternoon. I appreciate it.
Can I make one more suggestion?
Yeah.
And maybe I'm all wet, but I know Joe Higgins, who his replacement is Matt Foster, I believe, from the ATV program, and Chris McCabe. They do come to the table with some valid response type problems. So I guess I would encourage if they can vote early and the rest of us fit in around it, because they carry positions that will affect on what we make for decisions.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Definitely want their input, so we'll see what we can do to get them.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. With that, thank you very much, everyone. Take care.
all right.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Take care.